Last week, I kind of took a break from the lifestyles series because I met these extraordinary couple and I just wanted to share their story before I continue with lifestyles. They could be considered a lifestyle, but it's the Mayos. It's two extraordinary people. They got together from separate lifestyles and they put it together and they made it work. And they became, in my eyes, a very successful couple. So this is part 2 of the Mayos. Hope you enjoy it like you did part 1. Enjoy.
There's room for you, room for me, for gentle hearts and opportunity. Stay strong, love. It's the bigger love of the family.
All right, so what did you go to college for, Sandy?
I went to college pre-med. While in high school, my friend Rosita and I, who were college roommates also, were chosen by NYU for the math and science program. So we had to go to Saturday school.
No.
We take the bus and train and go to New York City and go to school. But it was like, when I got there, I felt like I didn't belong.
Why?
I don't know. I just felt like I didn't belong.
Yeah.
But, we finished up the program and everything, and then I went to Hofstra, pre-med, and when I got there, too, I felt like I didn't belong.
Okay.
You
could say the biology department had some racial undertones.
And I didn't know how to deal with that, because I didn't
make
grow
it
up
comfortable.
like him.
Didn't make it comfortable for the black students.
Okay, in Jamaica, we owned everything.
Yeah.
Black people were in power. We owned the stores. We owned everything. So when I came here and found out how black people were being treated as less than, and I consider myself black, even though my grandfather is white. Both my parents are Jamaican. It gave me a defeatist attitude, mindset. So I had to deal with that. And I remember in middle school, junior high, reading about the KKK. I didn't sleep for months.
Wow.
Because I had never heard about that before. And I had so much fear.
Right.
And
now you're in a place where they are.
And we're reading this, you're seeing the pictures of the white hooded mask, the fire on the stick. You're seeing that in the history book. And I'm looking around and nobody else seems to be fazed by it.
It's like, that happened over here. Right. We're here where they are.
They're home safe today.
So true. So true.
So I didn't have the tools that he had to deal with racism. Yeah.
Interestingly, because our schools were all black up until we got to undergraduate school.
Middle school and high school, everybody's black.
The percentage of black students at Hofstra University. Hofstra University is a small Jewish private institution on Long Island where we might have represented 5% of the student body, thereabouts.
Yeah.
But we were a very tight-knit group because we all came through this scholarship program, a higher educational opportunity scholarship program. So all the black students were, not all, but the majority of us, knew one another, had spent the summers together, et cetera, et cetera. And so my mindset again, when I got there, it's like, oh, y'all think we not supposed to be?
Okay, so we're going to do well.
Oh, hold up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
These lists, provost lists,
Right.
how do we keep score here?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
who gets the best grades? Who's doing the internships?
Exactly.
Okay, we're gonna do that.
Exactly.
And so
See,
that's when we started taking it serious.
See, that's so amazing because I'm sitting at a table with 3 other people that went to school with nothing but all black. I don't understand that.
Totally the opposite.
Yeah, totally the
for
opposite.
sure.
Wow.
I mean,
That's a conversation that he and I had just one day, and I was like, nope, just black teachers, black students. I'm like all the way down, and then I chose a college and like all black.
That
I can remember a
But
few
even though-
white teachers in my early primary grades, but then after that, it was all black schools.
Even though it was an all-black high school, the teachers were predominantly
Yeah, white.
white.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
in middle school too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was on. You can count the black
Yeah.
teachers on one
I
hand.
probably had
Yeah.
2 black teachers
So-
in high school.
So
Yeah.
that's the same for you too, though, right?
No.
Okay. Well, I want to say like maybe by the time I came along, we had an influx of black people who were graduating from college and succeeding. So now I had some black and white when I was more white when I was younger. But as I got older,
Yeah.
black.
Okay.
And then by the time high school, so now it's the opposite. 3 white teachers, but most of the faculty was black.
Wow.
How did that make y'all feel when you sit in the classroom, 9th to 10th grade, look around to all the students, they black, and you to the woman that or the man that teaching y'all is white? How did that make y'all think or feel?
You know what? They didn't make us feel any way. I think they loved us. Our teachers loved us.
You a different class than I was in.
But then also they have perspective. Y'all have perspective,
experiences,
and different
Yeah.
experiences.
My teachers loved me.
Well, the reason why I didn't think of it any kind of way is because that's how
It was the
always
norm.
been. That was
Yeah.
the norm. It was
Yeah.
always white
You gotta remember,
teachers.
we were born in the 70s, so we're kind of that crossroad of
Right.
like change had started and then it's happening a little bit more. Like, so we kind of got the best of both worlds, you know, a little bit old school and a little bit of new school.
True.
But yeah, so it was.
When I was coming, it was all white teachers and white administrators. I did have my 6th grade teacher was actually a black woman, Mrs. Wallace.
And that's
She was
why
tough,
you
too.
remember, sir.
Right. But she was wonderful in hindsight, right? And then I thought she was the meanest lady in the world. I think about it now, I was like, thank you God for Mrs. Wallace, right?
Right.
But yeah, like it's in middle school, Mr. Irby. You can count on one hand, Miss Johnson, Mr. Irby. They were the only 2 black teachers in middle school. High school, well, Coach Granby, of course, legendary Chuck Granby was the basketball coach. He was a gym teacher, and Mrs. Haskins, but you knew her as Miss Rashad because she had gotten married.
right.
That was it. Those are the black teachers.
Her married name and her maiden name.
Ain't that true? But think about it. If you think about since this Black History Month, slavery days, you got the white master and a whole bunch of field slaves. I mean, when y'all say that the teacher's
That's
white,
what you saw.
right? That's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
that's what you said.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Your teacher white, so it's like the master and y'all are the slaves sitting up in the desk, and she teaching y'all
Whatever.
whatever white history she want to teach
So
y'all.
how does that make you feel or think, if I may ask you that question? Because that's how you saw it, and like Bill said, it was nothing, it was the norm. That's what was going on. So how does that make you feel? Because yours was opposite, correct?
Mine was,
Well, okay, but you did have a white teacher, right?
yeah, I did.
Okay.
Mine was like today's time, like what your kids
A
went through.
mixed.
That's what I went
Mixture.
through. Yeah, it was a mixture.
Integrated, yes.
Right. It was more white teachers than black teachers, but like as far as elementary, kindergarten through 5th grade, one black teacher.
Okay, there we go.
2nd grade teacher, one black teacher. Middle school, 4 or 5 black teachers. And that tripped me out like, oh wow, this is
More
cool.
black
I said, more
teachers.
black, yeah, men and women. I'm
But
saying
you were
that.
not used to blacks being teachers in this area you had come from?
I didn't think about that because I had that one black teacher in,
Like,
in,
just
in
like you.
elementary, so it wasn't of those
I
thoughts.
thought.
Now when I didn't know anything about racism until I got to the high school.
So like our experience through elementary school and high school and all that was you don't know what you don't know. Right? Like we didn't realize that the history we were being taught was exactly that. It was his story, not our story.
Right.
And so we weren't learning about ourselves, but we didn't really know. Now the things that we did know about ourselves, we were learning at home to a certain extent.
Yeah, the thing about the parents who's not teaching at home, so you
Right,
really would
right.
know.
Just through conversation and so on and so forth. But interestingly, having gone through predominantly black schools all through, regular grade school, if you will, when we got to college and we got to this white institution, that's when we were exposed to more black history than we'd ever been exposed to in our entire lives
That sounds like
because we were privileged to have come through this higher educational opportunity program, which was called Project Noah, which was New Opportunities at Hofstra. Started out as called Negro Opportunities at Hofstra, which started like 1965. first HEOP program that existed in New York, in the state of New York. And so when they changed the name to New Opportunity Program, I came through summer of 1977. Sandy came through summer of 79. The executive director of the program, Frank Whalen Smith, Dean Smith, was head of this HEOP program, and he made it a point to teach us about W.B. Du Bois, Booker T. Washington,
Frederick
Frederick Douglass,
Madam.
right? All of the, all of the historical names of people that we never heard of, or if we did, it was just in fleeting
Vaguely.
passing. We would have conversations and debates and sit in
8
seminars
weeks.
and just
8 weeks.
talk about.
Nonstop.
Right. In addition to academic stuff,
Right,
but
math and
during the
reading.
day, it was math, social science, reading, English, etc. In the evenings, it was history.
It was
all
a
about history.
symposium.
So awesome.
And
It's so needed now too.
So you talked about Frederick Douglass. The motto of the program was, "If there's no struggle, there's no progress." And so it's like, if there's no struggle, there's no progress. Those who profess to favor freedom yet deprecate agitation are men who want crops without road right off the ground. They want rain without thunder and lightning.
Mighty
They want
roar
the-
of thunder and
They
lightning.
want the waters without the roar of thunder and lightning. Power concedes nothing without demand. It never did, and it never will. Find what any people will quietly submit to, and you will find the exact measures of wrong and injustice that will be imposed upon them. And these wrongs and injustice will continue until they are resisted with either words or with blows or with both. The limits of tyrants are prescribed by the endurance of those whom they oppress. That was our mantra. That was our motto.
They did that. That was
and we carried that.
Yes.
Through that institution, and it gave us a sense of belonging, a sense of pride, and a sense of responsibility to be the best possible students we could be. Because we wouldn't have been on that campus otherwise. We certainly couldn't afford to go there. And quite frankly, academically, we were borderline eligible to go because it was depending on your SAT scores. You asked me about high school. When I took the SAT test, I had gone to a party the night before.
Oh my.
Done quite a few things at the party that didn't better prepare me to be able to wake up early the next morning. So that day of this SAT, which I think started like 7:30 in the morning, I took 2 buses to go over to Hillcrest High School, which was on another part of Queens. I'd say within an hour of the test, I put my head down on the desk and went to sleep. I went to sleep. On the SAT. And back then, you had to pay to take it, so you wasn't paid. My mom paid for it one time. So my SAT score was horrible. Horrible. I had good grades, but my SAT score was horrible. And then we didn't have the monies to afford to be able to go to Hofstra. So thank God for this new opportunity at Hofstra's program, the HEOP program. That's how I gained a scholarship, full scholarship to go there.
Go moving
And
again.
then I went, right, exactly. And then I went back to my high school after I graduated and recruited other students
That's
who
good.
then went back and recruited Sandy.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So what did you go to college for?
My major was television production and broadcasting, communications.
No.
Yes, communications.
That's funny. Why? Why you chose that?
Communicate.
Because TV, I love TV.
And then.
And TV was, like, if you on TV, you're important. So I was like, if I want to be important, let me get on TV and I'll be important because people will see me and know me and whatever. I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. I just knew get there, get into that.
Okay, my thing is y'all had a TV?
We did. Yeah, I had a TV in college. I had a little black and white TV in college. So my dorm room was hooked. I had a little TV.
Wow.
Electric typewriter.
Wow. I'm younger than you, and we barely had one TV, and that was like, whoa, okay.
Well, growing up, you got the big TV that y'all spent too much money on growing up and broke, and then you got to put the little TV
on top of it.
Yeah, right. That ain't go.
With the
You know,
antenna.
get rid of
The
it. It's a
antenna.
good piece of furniture.
Use the remote when the channel had to be changed. It was
Right.
like, go change the channel.
Yeah. You want a remote. I agree. Oh, I remember them days. Woo. So you go to college for that. You go to college for what you went to college for, and
But-
y'all met in college, right?
Yes.
Okay, but what? Go ahead.
I graduated with a psychology degree.
Oh.
And I was taking all the pre-med courses for 2 years. And I mean, when I said I was studying hard, I was studying hard, but the teachers didn't want you there.
They didn't want you to succeed.
And they would say things to you which you really you didn't understand, but it made you feel a certain type of way.
Oh my, yeah.
You know, and so I went to my guidance counselor. You know, we had counselors there to help you. And he was like, he was finding that with a lot of students in the pre-med program. And he said, your scholarship, you only have 2 years left. So I think the psychology department would get you around that. But he said, you're going to have to take a lot of semester hours and do this major in 2 years. They would extend your, they would actually extend your scholarship for 5 years. You could actually go for 5 years. So I switched my major to psychology and did it in 2.5 years.
That's amazing. And it's great that you it was like you had that opportunity, but it's also kind of heartbreaking at the same time.
Right. She didn't get to pursue what she wanted to do.
Yeah, like and because of someone else, and yes, of course, it's skin tone and other things, and I do believe that is still prevalent today, but it's not seen as much because that's not like because of those instructors or professors are the ones who are teaching you to become whatever, and then but yet they can also withhold it from you. How unfair is that? I hate to use the word unfair, but I couldn't think of it.
Well,
There's
it's
nothing
interesting.
you could do.
And then you're in that sticky
Yeah.
predicament, and then so now you're having to think, what do I do to also be successful in something else? Like you already had that pathway. That's rough, you know.
And then you fair skin. You close to
That one of the professors should have given.
you one of us, sister. Man, come on through.
Well, that's how I felt in high school.
That's why I didn't know in high school. I thought, what that white girl doing here?
Oh, that's funny.
But you know, but it's true though. At our undergraduate school, my experience was the same as a communications major with television production and broadcasting. And they were teaching us all aspects of camera work. That you run the technical board, you produce, learn how to executive produce, direct, and all those things. It was only a handful. It was 3 of black students that was in that school, the communication school. And you knew you weren't wanted. You knew that they didn't really want you there. They just made it uncomfortable for you to be there. There was 2 teachers, 2 instructors that I would always try to take their classes because they were all right. Like they didn't seem like
they were there for education.
They didn't look like they didn't seem like they were outwardly discriminating. But the majority, the chair of the department and the majority of folks were just not. They didn't make life comfortable for you. And
Can you imagine going through
so
that?
I didn't want to. My thing was like, okay, I got to get through this because this is my major and I'm going to graduate with this. But I don't see myself pursuing this as a career because I can't do this every day. Like, I can't go to work like this and be in this environment. Like I'd go crazy. So fortunately, again, it's the outside the classroom stuff, right? The wonderful thing about school is it's not just what you do in the classroom, but it's the experiences that you have while you're in school. So I was fortunate enough that I held positions. I was the president of the Black Student Organization. I was captain of the intramural basketball team. I was working as the tutor counselor in the program. I was the head counselor one summer and the administrative intern another summer.
Really involved.
So I was in all of these like leadership capacities that gave me a sense of, okay, I'm good at getting people to do stuff, to move projects and people and tasks in a good direction and accomplish things. So I realized, okay, my skill is really in leadership and management. That's what I do. So although I didn't pursue my degree in management, when I came out of school, that's right what I went into because that's what I could do. That was who I was. So it's like, okay, I'm not going to get into that. I got a degree in television broadcasting and everything, but that's really not my skill set. My skill set is, okay, what do we have to accomplish here? We need to do this. Okay, I need you're going to do that, you're going to do that, you're going to do that. We're going to meet back here tomorrow. Let's see what happens. That was my skill set.
Go ahead. That's
And Dean Smith, for the new opportunities in Hofstra, he encouraged us to do things like that, to get involved, outside of the classroom.
Right,
And that's what we did, because I was vice president of the African Caribbean Society.
Right.
I was a part of the Black Science Club, part of African People's Organization also.
Right.
So we did
Organization of Black
things
Allegiance.
outside of the classroom that helped us to grow. I mean, there was one time
story.
when we marched against the administration.
Oh, yeah. We wanted them to, they had investments in South Africa. This was during the heart of apartheid. We wanted our university to divest their holdings there because they were helping to support the regime of apartheid. And so we were successful actually at getting them to divest some of their investments. We don't know that they actually divested all of it, but we did accomplish some of that. And
So
we
made a
marched and
we closed down the
we made
student-
signs.
we closed down the administrative building.
They told us they was gonna send us to jail. We were like, lock me up.
On that occasion, and then another occasion when Reagan came into office, when Reagan was elected in 1980, they were trying to end BEOG grants, and TAP scholarships. These were like scholarships that were assisting minority students predominantly. A lot of our scholarship was made up of these grants, and Reagan wanted to,
Snatch 'em.
take all this stuff back. So we marched on the students
Even though
again.
we did have to take out loans. We had
right.
A
Yeah,
loans
'cause
and
he-
B loans.
Yeah, he did.
When we were supposed to go.
cut back some of our funding.
Right.
So we had to take out some more loans to
Yeah,
offset
to
the
finish.
funding that was cut.
Wow.
Wow.
Man, lots of. Can I just back up just a little bit? Sandy, when you said that you talked to your counselor and you had to change majors, the first thing that popped into my mind, and you said you had to do it in a 2-year period, was your foundation of having to be academically inclined in Jamaica, and you had to know it. So when you said that, I said, I bet you once she switched over to psychology, it was second nature her to get it done because that's what she was already used
Right.
to.
That's what you used to.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so I know you saw her when you was a junior, but when did y'all actually start dating?
It was about 2 weeks later.
Hey girl, come here.
So to be told, okay, so as I think I might have said, I was the tutor counselor in the pre-freshman orientation program. She was a student. I was assigned 5 students, 4 gentlemen and Sandy.
Oh my.
And so one of the rules of the program was no fraternization.
Keep your hands off the
Can't-
people.
right, you can't fraternize with students. Okay. The semester, it won't be too long until the semester starts. We can last the summer. So I think it was so the students weren't allowed to go home on the weekends till maybe 3rd or 4th week into the summer. So weekend comes around and I'm gonna go get something to eat. So because it was like little Jack in the Box or something, Roy Rogers just off campus. So I'm like, I'm gonna go walk get something to eat. You wanna come with me get something to eat? She said, yeah, I'll come with you. So we go and we come back and we're just walking, talking, realized how much, we both went to Jackson, those are common things. And so then you said to me, yeah, there's somebody here that I really like, because I said, you got a boyfriend? I said, there's somebody here I really like. So I'm thinking to myself, what little knucklehead. What are these little knucklehead programs she like? Wait till school start, I'll fix all that. So then she says to me, well, actually, it's you, right? So I was like, me? I says, okay.
I know.
Who, me? Yeah. So then I just grabbed her by the arm and just started kissing her. All that non-fraternization went right out the window.
You can find me, I don't care.
So now, right, so that starts it off, right? So we'd be sitting at the table, like in the lunchroom, and she's sitting in front of me, sitting in front of me, and I had my feet like
And I'm like
hug her feet
shaking
with my feet.
because you had to keep this a big secret. I'm gonna lose my scholarship.
So I'm like hugging her feet with my feet under the table, and I can see her like turning red.
Wow.
We had to
Keep it a big
keep it
secret.
quiet.
Yeah.
Okay, so once you graduated, she was still there.
Yes.
What happened? You
So
graduate.
yeah. So
We got engaged before
Right.
that Christmas.
That-
He put a
right,
ring on
right.
it.
Oh, you gotta lock this in when you graduate.
so that year, I graduated May of '81.
And I
So I
didn't
guess
graduate till
She
December
graduated December of
of
'83. So that Christmas, TSS, I bought her this little diamond ring. If you took about 5 grains of salt and put them together, that'd probably be about the size of that diamond. It's the thought that counts. That ain't no real money yet.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
actually, when I graduated, I went to law school. I was
What?
I was going to law school there at Hofstra.
Right there.
Yeah,
in
I
town.
got accepted to Howard University Law School. I got accepted to Hofstra Law School. And I said, well, I'll stay home. That almost broke us up. 'Cause I was like, if I go to D.C., this is
That's a wrap.
It's a
That
wrap.
ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna stay. So I wound up staying, going to Hofstra, and we got engaged that December, and then we wasn't gonna get married till after she graduated.
Yeah.
And you know, and
For
and
sure,
so,
right?
And, so, and the similar, and I didn't graduate from law school. Similar situation. Got there again, same thing as the communication program. I was like, they don't want me here. And I said to in hindsight, I said, if I go into Howard, I probably would be a practicing attorney today.
Correct.
But because I went there and I just hated it. It was me and one other guy he wasn't even in my class. He was a 3rd-year student. I was the only first-year black student there. After the first year, I was like, I'm
Sounds
done.
scary.
I'm done. So if you see them, I don't know if you've seen my library. You see them law books and everything.
Yeah.
That's because
I saw that.
I was doing it, and then I was like, I ain't doing this. Let me. I noticed the title of this program is about black success, and to me, success has always been exceeding or succeeding, I should say, at what makes you happy.
Oh, yeah,
That's
no doubt.
success, right? It's not, if you do this, you're successful. If you do that, you're successful. If you ascend to this, it's what brings you joy.
Right.
What gonna get you to get up in the morning and allow you to sleep peacefully at night and feel fulfilled. Like if I'm doing that, whatever it is that I'm trying to obtain that the world would define as successful, I'll get that because I'm gonna be happy. When you have self-fulfillment, the rewards of that will come.
Well, I kind of agree with you, but there's an exception to every rule.
True.
And I know a few drug dealers feel the same way you feel.
True.
They glad to get up every morning. They can go ahead and make the dope money. They living like a rock star. They go to sleep when they want to, wake up when they want to. They got these big cars, nice houses. And I don't see them the same way as I see you two.
You know what, and that's so true. But I would say that, and I'm not condoning drug dealers for 1 second. We were fortunate that we were afforded opportunities to get into an environment that allowed us to accomplish the things that general society view as the stepping stones to success, right? And taking on positions. Because I got friends that I grew up with that you just described.
Yeah.
That I know are talented, smart, that if they had had the same opportunities that I had and had the same outlook that I had, could have been just as successful, maybe even more. Again, how you define success, right? But they chose a path that was allowing them to be successful for themselves in that moment, but in the long run, obviously, is a shortcut to the grave, right, or to prison.
Or the prison. Yeah.
The street I grew up in, that house that I told you that block that we grew up on, that we were the first black family in that block. That block was all black within the next couple of 3-4 years. There was 11 of us guys my age all within a 2-3 year age group. We played ball together, basketball, football, baseball, chased girls, everything. We grew up as a group. Only me and one of my other friends went on to college that I'm still close with today, that is an engineer. And one other good friend of mine is manages in actually he works for the Transit Authority now in New York. So that's 3 of us. So I said 11.
8.
Right.
All the rest, the other 8 are either dead or 3 of them in prison.
Same. Yeah.
And we all grew up together, the same street. But the dynamic of that street, what was interesting was it all started out with 2 family houses, but within a 5 or 6 year period, it was all single mothers. And all of us 11 wild kids and our younger sisters, in this block. And so 3 of us have made it, so to speak, but the other 8, it's not a good percentage.
It's not at all.
It's a terrible percentage because they didn't see or didn't have access, I guess, to the opportunity, or just didn't have. You mentioned role models earlier, and I think that was so important that I could see there was something better, right? Something different. That if you want to have a good life, there's certain things you have to do to get there. You're not gonna just arrive and somebody's gonna hand you something. There's certain expectations and certain things that you have to achieve in order to be able to reap the rewards of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's unfortunately some of the guys just didn't have that. They weren't exposed. Not that they weren't exposed; they just didn't see it. They didn't see it.
Well said, Bill. I think environment means a lot when it comes to people and how they turn out, how they persevere. Environment got a lot to do with it. I agree with you on that one, Bill. Because look at your wife, Sandy. She persevered. She really did. Almost not made it back to you. But it will be another part to this. That was just part 2. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned this week for part 3 of the Mayos. From the mind to the lips to the heavens. Until next time, peace from the heart.